Okay, I can't believe it. We are in week 7 and it's actually Tuesday, but we did not work Sunday or Monday. We were doing family stuff, and so it's a little bit slower start to this week. And honestly, the last couple of weeks have been, I wouldn't say that we haven't done a lot, but just kind of a lot of processing of what steps to take next. And I know I keep saying that in all the videos, but it's really just true. So at this point, we went to an auction on Sunday. We love going to auctions. They're a lot of fun. And this one that we went to was actually smaller than we had ever seen before. And so we had debated if we wanted to have an auction. I mean, we wanted to, but I was like, I don't know if we have enough stuff. But after we went to that auction, we were like, we might have enough stuff. So we are just sorting, because we're like, we've got to get this stuff out of here, because it's hard to move on to the next steps until we can have functional spaces. And right now it is not functional. It's like, I mean, we pretty much have the tiny house emptied out, other than a few. There's a section that needs the ceilings out, and then we need to take out all of the insulation, but we need to get the rest of that out. But other than that, like even the shop, we can't even function. We can't set up power tools or anything like that. And so we just really need to get everything out. And so we're just sorting, and we're coming across some treasures. So I'm going to show you a few that I think maybe worth something. So this here is, Marcus found these the other day, and this is 2 boxes worth, and there's actually still whole nother box in there. Marcrest stoneware. And I just looked it up briefly on eBay. I mean, like a set of 6 glasses of these were listed at $50. So you can see that there's a ton of stuff. I'm not even sure what's in that next box. I'm excited to see, but I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool find. Huge set. We don't need to keep anything that big. It's definitely not my style. Marcus likes it, but we don't need a set that big. There's the final lot. Woo! Major tea party, y'all. And here we're doing some separating. Like I said, lamp shop. We can totally open up a lamp shop. But these we found, oh geez, shouldn't break them. These are like these pretty light pink depression glass dishes, and I looked those up, and those are worth a lot too. Like one dish is listed at, like, I think this one that I saw here was listed at like 30 or 40. So might be worth it.
In 2019, we outgrew our house, so we downsized to a home on wheels. We built out our Sprinter van and traveled the country until we decided to buy a property, a home on land. We are Marcus, Janie, Rhea, and Kaya.
Yesterday, we put a dent in, actually not just yesterday, this week, we have really been putting a dent in the barn or the shop. Still trying to decide what we're calling it. I think it's going to be the barn, maybe a shop. But we have decided to do the auction. We are having an auction, and that just like came about suddenly. It was like we went to an auction, and then all of a sudden now we have an auction scheduled. It just apparently is meant to be. When something like that, it's like we didn't get estimates or quotes. There was like one guy we called, and now all of a sudden we have an auction scheduled. So we're just gonna go with it, and it's actually good. It's lit a fire under our butts to get all of this stuff done, because there is still so much stuff on the property, and I think we're having a hard time moving forward with each project, because there's just a lot of items around the house that you know, like I think when Charlie owned this place before, he probably had a method to his madness, but we don't know. And so to us, a lot of the stuff is just like, what is this? We don't even know what it is, or what it functions, or how it functions, or where to find things. So we just need to have a clear space so that we can function. And so I think this is like, has become the priority, you know. And if you watch in the last videos, the previous videos, it was like, okay, this is our priority, this is our priority, and it's changing, it's continually changing. And while we still have like an overall vision of what needs to be done, we're having to change day by day. with how things are going. We're also in the season of winterizing the yard, the garden beds, which right now the yard is pretty much ornamental. There's not a whole lot of perennial medicinal edible that we're aware of. And so we need to prepare the grounds. And if you watch in the previous videos, you see that like over in the pasture, in the field, we are not going to do anything with that this spring. We want to observe that for a year and just see how the rains fall, how the snow falls, just that area in general, and have a better idea of what to do. But over here in these established gardens, vignettes, we want to start adding food to it. So I think we're just trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that. I think we are going to, I know we are going to build the soils. We are doing a no-till method. And so the idea of that is that when you till the ground over and over again, it does help, aerate the soil or the dirt, but it's not building the nutrients. And so our goal is to really build the soil. So if you want to build good plants, you need to build good soil. And so our plan is to build the soil. At this point, we don't have our own compost. We don't have animals. We don't have, we're not even living here. So at this point we will get compost brought in, and then we have all of the leaves, and we're just going to, and then all of the trees, we're going to mulch those and just put all of this on the garden beds. But we need to do it soon, like now. It's like, it's getting ready. The cold is getting ready to hit, and we need to have these prepared. This is my Facebook Marketplace find. I am so excited to have found this. It's in such good condition. I do want to lighten the wood up. We'll have to see how that goes with having the cane, if I can get that lightened up. Cushions are off over there, so they need to be recovered, but I'm excited because they do have zippers on them, and so I'm just going to use these as the pattern to make new covers that will still zip off. Hopefully, that's the goal, so that I can still wash them. But yeah, isn't that so beautiful? I'm excited to play with that one. So other than, I feel like my head is like, because, so we are getting ready for this auction. And at the same time, we have our stuff in storage. We've brought it from Colorado, put it in storage, and that's been all fine and dandy. We've been staying in an apartment at some friend's house. So grateful for them, the Andersons. And, but here's the crazy thing, you guys. So my oldest sister, Katie, and her family have been living here for, gosh, I should know this, I should know the number, but for many, many years. And we've been coming out here and visiting them. And then in February, so at about that time, December, January, we were going to move to Arkansas, actually purchase land, and backed out of it. But we were in the process of doing that when my other sister and family bought a place in this area, which was never going to happen. They were never going to leave Colorado. So that was nuts. And then we ended up deciding to back out of the Arkansas deal, and we found this property here. And right about that same time, my parents had been planning on retiring here, but not until next year in 2022. That sounds crazy. But they found a place, and they are closing on it like next week. So that's nuts. But they're not moving here until 2022. So we are going to move into their house so that it's not sitting empty. So we are just, I feel like it's a good thing. It's a win-win, right? Because our house is not ready, but it's also this whole like up and again, just trying to figure out, we have a van. We have now, like, we were in an apartment, now we're having to go over there, and we are trying to work here and try and figure all of this out. So back to the storage unit. In the storage unit, in the very, very back of our storage unit, it's a small storage unit. It's like a, I don't know, like a 5x10 or a 5x, it's small, is our bed, our queen size. That was one of the things we kept. Marcus loved our mattress, and so we kept our queen size mattress. and also our vacuum cleaner. There's a couple different things that we have that we're like, okay, we don't need to go buy a new thing, but we need to get this out. And so it makes more sense. We have this property, we already paid for it. Why are we still paying for a storage unit? But we don't really have anywhere to put it. So we're gonna put it in the, I guess the covered patio is what you would call it. And so I got to get the mold out of there. There's some mold, and we were originally going to pull the walls out and see if there was mold behind it. But we'll do an updated video soon on all of the things. So at this point, I just need to get the mold off of there, so that way we can move everything from the storage unit here. My brain, you guys, I just hope that this video encourages you, because we all are like going a million different directions, it seems sometimes. And especially, or not especially, but even when you are trying to simplify, sometimes to get to that simplified life or that minimalist life, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be easy and that it's going to just all fall in place. I feel like we have really downsized and minimized, but it just keeps coming back, like, you know. And I think that there's a lot of lessons in that. It's not like you just all of a sudden just one time become a minimalist and it's just there. It creeps up in, and you have to address it when it comes in. And so that's where we're at, is just like all of these different pieces of our life that we're having to address to get to this simplified life, if that makes sense. Okay, let's get to work.